Welcome to Yekaterinburg, a city in Russia you've probably never even heard of. So here I am in Yekaterinburg, just left the hotel, the Novotel up there. Let's go and see what this city, the fourth biggest in Russia, has got to offer. And look at this, just down the road from the hotel. Quaint wooden building. So I think it's some sort of like folk museum. So here's the first stop. A keyboard monument, just by the river. Each one weighs about 85 kilograms. And a few of them have been stolen. Like I think some of the function keys F2 and F3. So they had to be rebuilt. Never seen one of these before in all my travels. Look at this. Homage to the Beatles. Ringo, John Lennon. I wonder why George and Paul haven't got their own individual portraits. So I'm coming up to one of the main churches of the city. This yellow one with golden domes, which is called the Holy Trinity Church. And all around is the modern side of Yekaterinburg. So during Soviet times, they turned it into a cinema and a coat factory. They got rid of the golden domes for some reason, but it was finally handed back to the Orthodox Church in 1995. And then just opposite it, or adjacent, the World Trade Center. Strange looking one. This behind me is the circus building. Look how grand this one looks. And inside here you can see all sorts of acrobats, tigers, bears, the whole range of animals that you can think of inside a circus. So Yekaterinburg is Russia's fourth biggest city, and it sort of straddles Asia and Europe. Some say it's in Asia, some say it's in Europe, some say it's in Siberia, some say it's in the Urals, but whatever, it is where east meets west in Russia. So the city was founded in the early 18th century by Alexander the Great, who named it after his wife Katerina, or Catherine. Welcome to the Alexander Nevsky Cathedral, the largest cathedral in Yekaterinburg. During the war, it was turned into a military depot, if you can believe that. Let's see if I can get in. So I'm just on my way to the Eternal Flame. I thought I'd just stop here because of this mural. Some sort of arena sports stadium. Look at this. Just opposite it you can see just some of the skyscrapers of the city. Apparently it's got one of the biggest concentrations of skyscrapers in any Russian city. I don't know what this building is, but it looks proper Soviet. It's even got the hammer and sickles there. Statue of someone. Varoshev. Just opposite the statue, some sort of war memorial. Look at these gorgeous wooden houses. So this is what it used to be like in Yekaterinburg back in the day. Great looking houses, those ornate roofs and those windows. So it says Dom Medvedeva, which means the house of Medvedev. So I made it to the Eternal Flame and obelisk. So this is the Palace of Youth. Look at that. That is amazing. I love these sort of things. So now I'm going to head to Lenin Prospect, one of the main roads, and see some of the sights down there. Lenina Prospect, Road of Lenin. Guess whose statue I've just come across? Has to be the man himself, Lenin. You never see statues of Stalin. It's always Lenin, always Lenin. So this square that Lenin stands in is known as Square 1905 because that was the year it saw demonstrations against Tsar Nicholas. And that is a huge shopping mall, Passage. And there's the City Duma, like a government building, built by prisoners of war. Should we go inside this posh shopping mall? I think we should. So it looks like in the winter. like the Russian dolls, selling Russian dolls. So I found like the food court in here, and there was a really nice woman behind the counter talking to me in Russian, and she was asking where I was from, where I got this mask from, where I worked. I managed to speak to her in Russian just about, in pidgin Russian, but I bought some plov, which is a traditional meal that you get in Russia and all the Soviet republics. Basically meat and rice and a few vegetables. And it's really nice. Just walking past that City Doma building. Lenin. What a grand entranceway. Such a Soviet looking building, but now just a normal European city. Teenagers and just people doing normal stuff. I'm just having a bit of an aimless wander now. Heading to that church, possibly. That looks Soviet brutalist architecture. You can still get booksellers here. Kiddies books. So it's called the Great Zlatoust Cathedral, I think, at least according to the map. Wow, look inside, all the icons. So I'm just near this quayside, and there's a memorial ahead, which I'm going to show you, because this area was where the industry, the metal industry, the iron and the coal and the copper began, and it's what made Yekaterinburg rich. There it is. So I'm guessing this is like a lump of metal. There's a bride there taking photographs. This in front of me is known as Sevastianov's house, and he was a rich mining engineer back in the 18th century, and he built this, but not as his own place of residence, but for people to rent when they visited the city. He lived in a wooden house behind it somewhere. So this is Yakov Sverdlov, a Bolshevik, a keen supporter of Lenin, and he actually had a key part in the murder of the Romanovs, the last of the Czars, who were murdered not far from here. And just opposite that, the theatre and opera house. It doesn't look it from this angle, but it stretches right over. It's huge. So I've just realised this is the furthest east I've been in my travels in Russia, and actually to the south is like Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan. But I'm just approaching a square now called the Black Tulip Memorial, dedicated to soldiers who lost their lives in Afghanistan. So it's called the Black Tulip Memorial because a black tulip was a Russian transport aircraft that used to transport the dead bodies of all the soldiers killed in Afghanistan back to the Soviet Union. So there's been a lot of marching about and banging of the drums, but I get the impression it's like for a rehearsal for something. I mean, what's the purpose of the tables? I just saw two of the soldiers playing rock, paper, scissors, and the one who lost got flicked in the eye by the other one, and he lost 3 times in a row. Ah, the tables are coming into play now. Well, I think they're going to be rehearsing for a long while, so it's time to move on. This is the Church on Blood, and it's a historically significant place because of its location. It's built on the spot where the Ipatiev house was, and that house was where Tsar Nicholas II, his wife, his 4 daughters and his son were all executed. So the house stood there until 1977, when Boris Yeltsin decided it needed to be demolished because he didn't want people romanticising the fact that Russia or the Soviet Union had lost its monarchy and wanting them back perhaps. And this cross is the location of where they were actually murdered. So this is it, the last of the Tsars. So there's my next destination. Hopefully I'll be able to navigate my way to the top. Ticket bought 400 rubles, about 4 quid. Here we are. Look at that. I tell you what, the view is good. and it shows just how massive the city is. Train station over there. It just goes on and on and on with all these high-rise. So that's it, back at the hotel. So goodbye from Yekaterinburg. See you next time in a Russian city you've probably never heard of. I'm Jason Smart, and if you've liked this travel video, please click subscribe.